Hey guys, welcome back to EAK TV. We're here in a bustling Istanbul blockchain week with Sebastien Borget from Sandbox. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the keynote stage.
So this is the first day. It's NFT Day, Istanbul Blockchain Week, and we've got great speakers like Sandbox. And I think one of the things that I've been most impressed by with Sandbox recently is the amount of brands that you've managed to get on board. I'd like to first question really is what's been the feedback from brands and what's been their kind of main use cases that you found that brands want to work with the metaverse?
So the feedback from brands has been tremendous. We've launched during the alpha season 3 already more than 22 brands, and we've started to open more and more during events recently with Gucci, for example, or Paris Hilton or HSBC, and they love the creativity of the platform. They love the fact that they can engage with user-generated content. And the first metric of engagement that we've had, even though Sandbox ultimately is still very early on, have been beyond their expectation or comparable to other platforms. For example, the time that a user spends into a Metaverse experience being 20 minutes is way beyond the few seconds of attention that the brand can get when they post content over social media. The quality of interaction, the fact that they get via a wallet a new relationship with a user that they can keep engaging with, dropping NFT, launching content, events, and so on. It's really new, and so we're looking forward to keep doing more and more creative activation with them as they enter Sandbox. Also, a strong reason of the growth of brand is we have a strategy of being very global, but also local at the same time. So I'm here in Turkey today. We have a team here. We have developed an ecosystem with Builder Studios, and we want to collaborate with local brands to represent the Turkish culture in the metaverse. And they are really excited about that idea and getting access to a global audience through that.
Amazing, yeah. I know you have a big Turkish community and a Turkish team as well at Sandbox, so it's great to see big projects like Sandbox investing in Turkey and recognizing the importance of this market. So just staying on the brand side, obviously right now Metaverse is still at very much at early stage. If we think about future brand activations in the next, say, 5 years or so, arbitrary number, how do you think people will be able to interact with brands in the Metaverse, in that time period?
So it's right that we're still early on in the kind of interaction. So right now it's been a bit of gaming, it's been a bit of socialization. We've seen virtual clubs, we've seen art galleries, virtual shows. All those interactions, they are heavily dependent on the capability of the game maker tool and the creation tool. So as we keep improving them, we open new gameplay, we open new ways to interact between avatars with emotes, body animations, with way to follow and friends people online, and also by encouraging the brand to open themselves and reinvent them more and more through user-generated content. That's one thing that the brands love the most, being able to co-create their presence with their community by opening themselves into this new space.
Okay, very interesting. So I'm sure you've been asked this question a few times recently, but there's been a lot of media about lack of users in the metaverse. But actually Sandbox has been outperforming many of your competitors based on that metric alone. What do you think, what is it that creates that stickiness in the metaverse that perhaps Sandbox has that your competitors might not have at the moment?
So I wouldn't worry about the lack of users. Every time I enter a Sandbox experience, there's a dozen, if not more, of users running around me, interacting. During the season 3, we had 40,000 active users, even though Sandbox is not yet on mobile, it's only on PC and Mac. The one thing that article showed was the number of transactions on the blockchain, meaning when two users were exchanging with each other an NFT, selling, etc. But we know that the metaverse is not yet a place for commerce, it's not yet a place for transactional relation. We don't enter a theme park, a shopping mall, or a conference like this only to make payment. We connect, we spend time, we engage differently, and it's the same in the metaverse. We discover, we explore. The growth will come based on the quality of the content that we want to provide to the users. So there needs to be a good reason for them. That reason comes from like the right engagement mechanics, how we teach people to come and come back through like updating the content, offering elements or content that is relevant for them. Could be like for music artist a concert, could be for a brand like revealing exclusive content and so on. Like how do we create and engage more and more exclusively, so you feel like you're part of this community and you have access, you're part of that small club, you know, and the convergence of all those small community along like intersection of interest group will make that bigger audience.
Perfect. Okay, so I understand there's been quite a lot of talk and chatter about working in the metaverse, and I've seen, I understand that there's been people earning money in the casinos in Decentraland, and you know, what is Sandbox's approach to that? Do you see an economy where people can work in the metaverse in Sandbox, or is that one of the use cases, or and how do you see that coming to life over the future years ahead?
So I think like the approach to like finding a job to the metaverse is really seeing like metaverse almost like a new nation, a new country. So a new country will need all kind of worker, like into building content, into like services and so on. And that's what we've seen recently with 230 studios that are part of building on the Sandbox ecosystem or advising or providing like community manager users. There's a lot of demands for all those different roles that like contribute to make the metaverse a very lively, fun place to interact. And that's something important. Like when you create this platform, you want to make sure that there is a growing ecosystem and fertile ground for them to develop their economic activities, just like it's a new industry that's starting as well.
And so, like I said, you know, you've obviously partnered with loads of brands, from Banks to, you know, Snoop Dogg, you know, from Gucci, and many, many more. Do you have a specific focus area for these brands, or are you quite broad blanket at the moment? And then where do you see the highest growth areas for Sandbox within the brand space?
So, like we really started with entertainment. Like we felt like entertainment, meaning like gaming, lifestyle, fashion, music, would be more attractive to users and through the brands, the fans of the brands essentially. And through the partnership we have, we could reach 1 billion people ultimately once we're fully on mobile and so on. But what we saw is like this is an open platform, so anyone can become a landowner, acquire land in one of the land sales, which there will be one soon again, and open their content to any community of their choice. And we've seen then like commerce, banking, finance sector, event organizer, etc., acquire land and start building interesting experience as well. And that's the beauty of it.
So I'm a big football fan, sports fan, and as many people are in Turkey. Do you see the metaverse like only as potentially like viewing like a football game with other fans in the metaverse, or do you think that one day there could potentially be like a metaverse model of the game actually happening at the same time, so you can watch it in the metaverse with, you know what I mean, with the players actually playing? Like, do you think that would go to that level, or is it more of a viewing experience of the actual TV screen?
So I don't think like watching a movie on a small TV screen through a 3D avatar is an exciting experience as of now. Maybe that will become better, but so far, like, why do that? So what we're looking to do is a various sport brands, and well, with the World Cup in Qatar actually happening, we have some events ongoing with Sportland and soccer as well. I see like the metaverse as a way to connect more closely and interact socially. And what sport is great at is like having supporters. Supporters we usually like gather together in pubs, in bars, in restaurants to live the emotion together. So how do you gather with people where you are not physically in the same location to still live that emotion and express your fandom together? Like what you see in the stadium, like there's the Ola, there's the makeup, there's like the dressing, there's all the large banners. Those are more exciting activation, I think, that we can do at a bigger scale, and thanks to technology in the metaverse. And also like involving the community, like it has to be very organic on how they want to express it together as a crowd or individually.
Awesome. Okay, Sebastien, well look, I really appreciate your time. Last question, what is the future hold for Sandbox?
Well, we continue building. Basically, like our mission is to empower creators and let them earn from the content they bring. So definitely, like having more events for the platform to be open and accessible. Definitely having land publishing, so you can make your experience open to the public at any time. Mobile version, so we can bring more and more users from anywhere on the go into the metaverse, and keeping updating our creation tools so that we keep expanding the realm of possibilities in the metaverse.
Amazing. Sebastien, thanks so much for your time. Guys, that's EAK TV. We'll catch you again next time.